stories from the Commie days. We're getting into characters now, and let's have Marius J first. In fact, a friend, supposedly. Now, I often go back to Thomas Mann and the short story that had a strong effect on me in teenage years. So there's a character in that short story who says something like, it's not a quote, not in any way. I look around and I see people saying, I love you so much, there are no words to express what I feel. And he says, that's absurd. Love, if we look at the meaning, is something we find only in art and literature, not in real life. In real life, love, friendship, friends, are words we misuse, because friends, when we test them, prove to be no such thing. Could you help me? Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm busy. I have to fix this thing in the garden. This plant. I'm just making something up, but they don't pass the test of life, real life, these words. So, friend. In this case, Marius J, let's not give his who knows. We've had some few viewers recently, so let's stay on the safe side. And anyway, any resemblance, it's purely coincidental, as let's say in fiction, trying to protect the innocent and so on. Marius J first came close to us because he was interested in my sister, Madi. And again, speaking of those words, love, friend, I don't know if he was in love, infatuated, interested anyway, clearly very interested. And because he wanted to have a good connection, and I was somehow around, I think it was in Preda for the first time, in the mountains. He even went as far as to arrange a fake chess game for me, so that I would be pleased. He had his friend lose a game of chess to me, so that I would feel so clever and good, satisfied, successful. Incidentally, this friend was the son of the then head of the Union of Writers. And then we would have a sort of an escapade, or quite a few escapades with this Marius J. Into the mountains again, Sinai, close to Preda, at the villa of the Union of Writers. When he went off from home, I think, this fellow, I don't even remember the name, so there's no need to, well, there is a need to invent one if we're to call him something. Mihail, let's say. So we spent one night, a few nights in Sinai at the villa, and this is where we went with Marius's car. This was a time in the Commie days, we're talking Commie days still. We may reach in the next few years the period when I mentioned in a previous video. I did work for AT&T. Like in The Office, I had a note on The Office, the series, and I mentioned mention some of my experience with a multinational. Nicer bosses than Steve Carell or Ricky Gervais in a series created by Gervais. In appearance, but still cool. Pay peanuts to avoid any factory cost than 250 they gave a month. No pension benefits, no medical, no insurance, nothing. And for the 250 they expected work which was paid, I don't know, with 10,000, that's why. And more with offices. I had to use my mother's flat. Let's not get to that 92, 6, 7 period yet. So, Marius had a car. He had a German citizenship. German as in West German, then. And he had a Volkswagen, which was like having a private plane and a yacht and more. And a few mansions, a palace, and the title to the road. Because there were some periods like this one in winter I'm mentioning now, Sinai, when everything was closed, no traffic allowed, no cars, local cars, few as they were, just Ceausescu and some foreigners who had the right to travel because he was crazy about the cash, the hard currency, dollars, Deutschmarks back then, pounds, French, Swiss francs, whatever, hard, not Chinese yuan back then. So we were alone. That was some scenery, that was some unique thing, talking of experiences. So coming back from Sinai to Bucharest with his Volkswagen, I remember at one point it was white snow and an incredible scenery from Alaska, someplace, the Russian tundra, because you could see no road. Having no cars on the road, it was all covered. No. True, with Commie system, as we know, lousy, inefficient. Let's think Cuba, let's think North Korea. You could have you did have so many fuck-ups continuously, and even if cars had been allowed to travel and so on, they could have been just as inefficient and have the road not clear. But it was not clear. It was, you couldn't see. In fact, at one point, we had some guidance because we could travel between the lines of trees. There's a thing here in many places, maybe most. You have trees on parallel on the side of the road. So that's how you could tell this is the way we're going. But in other portions of the road, now where you had to continue slowly on that asphalt to avoid going off. If you see what I mean, if you with the snow you missed a turn or something, and look for the trees and head for them. Lines of trees, not isolated trees to knock the car against them. So that was a major advantage, and I know, and I'll finish with this, how at one point I was in the hospital, in the students' hospital, and in there we had a fellow from North Korea, and either he was scared that there could be spying everywhere and somebody listening outside the door of the room in which we were, four, I don't know, 5 more. Or, more likely, look to me, he was a fanatic. He was a fan, a member of the cult, of Kim. There was one of the Kims, I forgot which, the grandfather of this fellow now, father, doesn't matter. We were asking him, teasing, because we were not dissidents, really, not acting upon our beliefs, but thinking Ceausescu is a son of a bitch, an idiot, and a monster. And this system is rotten, is calamity. One of the worst things invented. But asking him, so Kim, he would go, whenever Kim was in, almost like in a couple of films I've seen from there where they cry. Meaning crazy. We'll continue with this.